This big bad bill cuts more than $200 billion from food assistance, potentially affecting 4 million children and 7 million adults nationwide.
Donald Trump and Republicans are so comfortable with their lies about their agenda, about their legislation, about the very real damage that they're going to do with this budget bill, that they're just openly admitting, oh yeah, it's going to hurt some people. Oh yeah, it's going to be real bad news. Donald Trump was on Truth Social yesterday at 5:27 p.m., just last night, early in the evening. And he posted this, admitting that there will be untold damage, but warning Republicans, dial it back a little bit. Don't do too much damage because after all, y'all, we still have to get reelected. This is what he posted. For all cost-cutting Republicans, of which I am one, remember, all caps, you still have to get reelected. Don't go too crazy. We will make it all up times 10 with growth more than ever before. Now, explicit in this, not implicit. This is not, you don't have to read between the lines. Don't go too crazy means go crazy, hurt people, create damage, but don't go too crazy because after all, we still have to get reelected. Where are the sirens? Where is the mainstream media talking about this? I don't know either. This bill is going to rip health insurance from nearly 16 million Americans. $300 billion in cuts to food assistance. Many of those people that rely on food assistance in this country are children in poverty. Kids like little Jesse growing up on welfare, on food stamps, literally eating the government cheese. We had a pantry filled with the white boxes with like generic letters, farina, all kinds of what we called commodities. I don't know what they were actually called. They may have been called that. Hungry kids. Okay, that's enough damage, but don't do too much. We got to get reelected to do more damage. Make it incremental, Donald Trump says. There are other deleterious, very damaging effects of this budget bill. One is the exorbitant money that we're going to be pouring down the gullets of the mushmouth dildo with ears. A human sex toy took the stage at the Faith and Freedom Conference. All these Christians just praising Jesus and clapping, applauding, hooting and hollering for the human rights abuses of the mass deportation effort of Donald Trump. You know, just like Jesus would. And Tom Homan himself, over the weekend, on my birthday actually, took to the stage and explained, listen, this is why we got to get this bill through. If you like what we're doing now, just wait until we get more funding. We will just make record-setting pace abusing humans while he lies about what U.S. law is and is not. Watch this.
We're doing exactly what President Trump promised. We're going to do the worst first, and we're doing that. However, the media's been hitting me up lately. Well, Homan's lying. They're not arresting just criminals and public safety threats. They're arresting non-criminals. What they're afraid to tell you is, yeah, they're in the country illegally, so they're on the table too. So I was with the president yesterday during the big, beautiful bill ceremony at the White House, and he made a mistake and let me to the microphone. We need that big, beautiful bill passed. I'm listening to me. I'm telling you right now, they passed that bill. We're going to have more money than we ever had to do immigration enforcement. You think we're arresting people now? You wait till we get the funding to do what we got to do. And so when we get that funding, we can put more agents on the field, right? Because we need the money. It's going to help us hire more contract help. So there shouldn't be a badge and a gun sitting at a desk doing keystrokes for some administrative duty. That should be a contractor. The badge and gun needs to be on the street. looking for those national security threats and public safety threats. So that's going to give us more boots on the ground. It's going to give us more beds. This morning I looked at the beds. We got about 1,400 empty beds. 1,400. We'll fill them by tomorrow. So we're playing this chess game. We got to move people out and put people in. No, we need 100,000 beds so I can fill 100,000 beds. And we're going to move them as fast as we can, but we need more beds so we don't have to, in the morning we say, okay, well, we only got this many beds, so let's only rest this many people. No, we should be coming to work every day saying, get everybody you can get. And we got the bed waiting. That's where we need to get to.
First of all, it might be semantics. Maybe, but I don't think so. There is no law. There is no statute. There is no crime to be charged of residing in this country illegally. That's not a crime. There's no crime. There's no statute. Crossing the border is a crime, a misdemeanor, like reckless driving or something, or driving without a license. That's the level of crime that crossing the border is. But being in the country illegally is not a crime. So he's a liar. He's not only what he is, he can't, you can barely understand a word he says. And I don't know if he's in the middle of a bender, he's just coming off of it, he's wildly hungover, he's in the midst of it, he's getting ready to be hungover. Who knows what's going on with the bulb nose, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer stand-in, Tom Homan, who knows? But this is damaging. This is what the bill that Donald Trump is talking about, warning Republicans not to go too crazy about, is going to do. While the Christians, they can't get enough. Yes, be cruel. Harm children. Harm other Christians. They don't even have enough compassion and empathy and love and decency for people of their own faith. But if you want it explained in more articulate detail than I do, sorry, I'm who I am. This is what you got. Here's Mallory McMorrow. She is right now a state senator in the state of Michigan, but she's running for Senate in Michigan. And she explains it very well. I don't know how much of this I'm going to play, probably a couple minutes. There'll be a timer, as always, in the corner of the clip. You can skip ahead if you've already seen it. But she, in an impassioned way, armed with information, armed with the detail that should be communicated, exactly what this bill aims to do and exactly who it will harm.
Today, we are on the verge of the single largest redistribution of wealth from poor and working class Michiganders to the rich in our nation's history. That's what we're staring down in this so-called big, beautiful bill. And sure, if you're already wealthy, this bill is going to be great for you. If you earn more than $715,800, congratulations, you will get a tax cut of over $50,000. That tax cut alone is significantly higher than the $39,500 that the average Michigander earns in an entire year. Are you a foreign investor? Congratulations. Collectively, you will all get $23 billion in tax cuts next year alone. Are you in a position to leave more than $7 million to your heirs? Congratulations. You will get a cut to the estate tax. But how does this bill pay for all of this? By cutting the services that you rely on. This big bad bill cuts more than $200 billion from food assistance, potentially affecting 4 million children and 7 million adults nationwide. In Michigan, SNAP provides vital food assistance to over 1.4 million Michiganders. That's approximately 15% of our state's population. SNAP dollars fueled $2 billion in economic activity supporting farms and grocery stores, especially in our rural communities. But colleagues, proponents of this bill, and I have heard it here today, will argue that it's just about cutting so-called waste, fraud, and abuse, and that these cuts are necessary, and that enacting these cuts will benefit everybody. That argument is a flat-out lie. The University of Michigan economist Justin Wolfers analyzed the impact of all of the Trump policies combined. The cuts to Medicare, Medicaid, and SNAP found in this big bad bill, the tax cuts here that overwhelmingly benefit the rich, and Trump's reckless tariff policy that adds cost to the food and the goods that so many of us rely on in our daily lives.
That's going crazy. The largest wealth transfer in the history of this country, in the history of a country famous for wealth inequality. This is going to be the largest transfer of wealth from the poor to the wealthy in the history of our nation. Harming poor, working class, children, desperate, seeking the American dream, yearning for some scrap of a bootstrap to pull themselves up by. Don't go too crazy, Donald Trump says. We still got to get reelected. Don't go too crazy. Anyway, what do you think? I invite you to this conversation. You can comment below. That'll help the algorithm to share this content with new possible subscribers. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. I love and appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.